so good to me. When I felt no worth, you paid it all for me. You have been so kind to me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves at 99. I couldn't earn it, and I don't deserve it, till you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. Snow wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. Snow shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. Snow wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. No shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. Snow wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. No shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. Snow wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves at 99. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it, till you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God.
Well, hey guys, thanks for joining me today. I don't know what you got going on your holiday weekend, but I hope it's some great plans with family and friends, and that's what I'm doing here, just doing some grilling with some people and hanging out. And this morning when I was getting ready to come out here, I saw a bumblebee. I think bumblebees are really, really cool. I was watching this bee just kind of hover there, and it made me think about something all the way back in college. If you don't know my background, I went to an engineering school, and in one of our classes one time we were talking about the bumblebee and how using our laws of aerodynamics, it really shouldn't be able to fly, but obviously it does. And our professor was talking to us about that, and he said, really it's because we use, when we talk about aerodynamics, we're talking about airplanes and things that we've learned using fixed wings and propellers and jets and fans. And when you try to apply that to a bumblebee, I mean, obviously it's not using aluminum or metal, or it's not even using lift to try to go across its wings to stay elevated. He says it's using a whole lot of different principles than aerodynamics. Therefore, it flies. It's just something different. And as I was thinking about that, I said, it's kind of like the kingdom of God, isn't it? It's a little bit different. Our understanding is different than what we know. You might want to call it the upside down thinking of the kingdom of God. Jesus talked a lot about the upside down kingdom of God. And he would say things like, you've heard it said, but I'm telling you. In other words, what he was saying is, kind of what you think you know, it operates a little bit different. He talked about this upside down way. And one of the things that he talked about that I know I've experienced in my life is Jesus tells us that it's better to give than it is to receive. Doesn't make sense, right? Because we all want to get stuff. I mean, I like to get stuff. But if you've ever given something to someone who has a need, or maybe it's to your child who really, really wants something, and you see that expression on their face, and you see the joy that it brings them, then you really understand Jesus' principle. It really is better to give than it is to receive. So this weekend, as we're celebrating July 4th and Independence Day, as we celebrate it, I mean, how did we get here, right? It is an independence. We fought for our freedom, and when we became independent, we became free. And there's a lot of truth in that, and there's some good. But there's some bad that's come with it too. It's kind of created this fierce independence, at least among Americans. And what Jesus tells us, though, is that we should have a dependence. This goes back to that upside down way of thinking, that in order to find real freedom, in order to find real life, it's not about independence, but it's about dependence. So he tells us in John chapter 15, he says, I am the vine and you are the branches. And if anyone will remain in me, they will produce much fruit. But apart from me, you can do nothing. And what basically Jesus is saying is, you, in order to accomplish something great, need to be dependent on me. And I get it. That runs contrary to just about everything that we've been taught and how we've been raised, to be dependent on anyone, right? We're told to strike out on our own. We're taught to go your own way, do your thing, build up your own source of security. But what Jesus is saying is, yeah, you can try to do all that, and it's not going to produce the fruit that you want. If you really want to produce good fruit, fruit that is good for you, he's saying you need to be in me, dependent on me, like a branch is to a vine. And when we are attached to the branch like a vine, then the source of life and strength that we have comes through that vine, right? It's not our own, it's coming through the vine. And it makes us to have a strength that we can't have on our own, right? And this, I think it's really tough for those who are fiercely independent. And I'm one of them, right? It's tough to be reliant on someone outside of yourself. It's tough to be reliant on someone financially or someone to work things out to help make decisions other than yourself. I get it. That's tough, but this is what Jesus says. This is where you produce much fruit. This is where life is found. As we celebrate on this day a declaration of independence, here's a challenge I would have for you. How about you make a declaration of dependence? That you would turn and you would say, God, I'm not going to depend on myself. I'm going to depend completely and wholly on you. Because the truth of it is, guys, until we come to realize that on our own effort, everything that we try is just never going to bring the satisfaction that we want, we're going to keep running into a wall over and over again. So, spend some time this weekend. Spend a little time with Jesus. Get to know Him. Declare your dependence on Him. And in so doing, may you be like the bumblebee and defy logic. May you fly even though it doesn't look like you should be flying. May you be dependent when it looks like you should be independent. God bless you guys. We'll see you next week.
You give life, you are love, you bring light to the darkness, you give hope, you restore every heart that is broken. And great are you, Lord. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise, pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. You give life, you are love, you bring light to the darkness, you give hope, you restore every heart that is broken. And great are you, Lord. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise, pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise, pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. And all the earth will shout your praise. Our hearts will cry, these bones will sing.